All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking something that is literally sitting in your kitchen pantry right now and transforming it into a scientifically backed, highly scalable hair growth treatment. We're going to look at the true science of onion juice for hair preservation and regrowth, and honestly, the data is absolutely fascinating. So let's explore exactly how this works together.
Now, I know exactly what you're probably thinking. Is my hair going to smell like a kitchen? And come on, does this actually work? Let's just address the elephant in the room right out of the gate. The answer to the smell is super simple. Washing your hair twice with your regular shampoo completely removes any lingering odor. Period. So with that out of the way, we can focus entirely on the incredible, data-backed results this remedy provides.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. How does onion work?
So whether you're dealing with hair loss from an autoimmune condition, maybe a nutritional deficiency, or even a bacterial issue on the scalp, the chemical compounds inside this humble vegetable target those root causes in some pretty amazing ways. Let's start with keratin. This is the structural protein that forms the absolute foundation of your hair roots. Now, onions happen to be loaded with sulfur, and while sulfur itself isn't some magical direct cure for hair loss, it is the absolutely essential raw material your body requires to build that keratin. Think of it like building a house. Without sulfur, keratin production just halts, and your hair's foundation weakens and eventually falls.
And then there's quercetin. As you can see, this is a powerful antimicrobial compound found in really high concentrations in red onions. If you're dealing with conditions like alopecia, where your hair might be falling out in patches, quercetin is incredibly effective because it actively suppresses those autoimmune T-cell attacks. And at the exact same time, it directly targets your hair follicles to boost growth hormones, all while protecting your scalp from yeast, fungus, and dandruff. I mean, it's a true multitasking powerhouse. Moving right along, Section 2, Method of Applying to Hair. So, how do we actually harness all of this? Well, to start our foundational good recipe, you're going to want to grab a red onion specifically, because, as we just learned, red onions contain the highest levels of that vital quercetin. You just chop it up, toss it into a blender, and blend it until you've got a smooth paste, kind of like a smoothie consistency. Then, you'll strain that liquid from the pulp using a cheesecloth or a piece of muslin right into a glass jar. Your one and only goal here is to completely separate out that vital, nutrient-rich liquid from the solid pieces. All right, once you've got that pure liquid, here's your game plan for applying it. First, just wet your hair. Then, take the onion liquid and massage it thoroughly directly into your roots for a good 2 to 3 minutes. After that, pop on a shower cap to keep the liquid from dripping everywhere and let it sit for exactly 30 minutes. Finally, jump in the shower and wash it out twice with shampoo. If you do this just twice a week, you're going to start seeing visible results by the 3rd or 4th week, with full, striking effects really showing up between 4 to 6 weeks.
Now, what's really fascinating about this slide is the hard clinical data backing up this exact routine. In a 6-week trial published in the Journal of Dermatology, patients were split into 2 groups. The group using the onion juice treatment saw a massive 86.9% success rate in hair growth. Compare that to the control group who used just tap water, coming in at a mere 13%. I mean, the data overwhelmingly proves the efficacy of this simple juice over just a 6-week period. It's wild. Which brings us to our next phase. Section 3, Double Effect with Rosemary. So we've nailed down the good basic recipe, right? But let's upgrade to the better phase of our scientific escalation arc here. Adding just 5 drops of rosemary oil to your onion juice is an absolute game changer. A randomized trial in 2015 compared rosemary oil directly against top conventional clinical medications used for alopecia. And the results? Rosemary oil rivaled the strength and effectiveness of those heavy-duty chemical treatments, literally just 5 drops to match clinical medicine.
And why is it so effective? Well, just look at the multifaceted benefits it brings to our juice. It heavily reduces inflammation, it provides a massive rush of powerful antioxidants, it actively stimulates blood flow directly to the scalp, and it brilliantly targets those underlying autoimmune issues we talked about. By adding just those 5 drops, you're essentially making your basic recipe twice as effective.
Let's move to the ultimate upgrade. Section 4, Most Powerful, Fermented Juice. Okay, we are taking everything we've learned and creating a fermented onion juice for the absolute best, most powerful method. To create this supercharged version, you start with a blended strained liquid from 1 onion, just like before. But this time, put it in a glass jar and mix it with 1 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of pure honey.
Give it a good stir and then cover the mouth of the jar tightly with a muslin cloth. Now, here is the strict rule. You have to leave this on your counter at room temperature for 72 hours. Do not, under any circumstances, put this jar in the fridge.
Because by day 2 or 3, you'll start seeing some actual fermentation magic happening. You're going to notice tiny visible CO2 bubbles forming right on the surface. Those bubbles are the signal that natural bacteria are actively enhancing the quercetin. They are literally creating brand new hair-supporting vitamins right there in the jar. And even more incredibly, this natural process drops the pH of the liquid down to about a 5, which perfectly matches your scalp's ideal, highly therapeutic environment.
Now, because this fermented batch is so incredibly potent, the application shifts just a little bit. First, strain the fermented liquid one final time through your cheesecloth. Next, thoroughly massage it into your wet roots. And because it's so therapeutic and perfectly pH balanced now, you can actually leave it under your shower cap for a full hour before you shampoo it out twice. You can do this twice a week, or, you can even scale the frequency up beyond that depending on the severity of your particular condition. But wait, there's a catch. Section 5, Internal Nutrition and Diet.
See, topical treatments, even the supercharged fermented ones we just made, they're really only half the battle. What's happening inside your body completely dictates how well your follicles can actually use these external treatments. So the crucial point here is that number you're seeing, 10,000 to 20,000 IU. That is the exact daily dosage of vitamin D3 you need to be targeting to stop hair fall from the inside out. Vitamin D has a profound connection to hair retention. If your levels drop, hair fall inevitably begins. You absolutely must maintain this daily dosage, or make sure you're getting highly adequate morning and evening sun exposure when the rays aren't too harsh.
Because at the end of the day, true hair health demands internal building blocks. You've got to eat a nutrient-dense diet that specifically supports hair growth. I mean, the foods you eat are what provide the fundamental nutrition necessary for your follicles to utilize all the powerful compounds, like the sulfur and quercetin that we just spent time discussing. Your diet is the mandatory fuel for these external remedies to actually work their magic. So we've covered the cellular science, the clinical trials, and the exact step-by-step kitchen chemistry to upgrade this from a simple ingredient to a potent, fermented treatment. Which leaves me with one final provocative question for you. Are you ready to harness the proven science of your own kitchen to finally take control of your hair growth? The tools and the hard data are right in front of you. You can literally start your scientifically upgraded hair care journey today. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I can't wait to explore our next topic with you.